This is Sarah Meixel with thepigsite.com, and today we're here with Dr. Mike Murtagh. He is the Executive Director of Swine R&D with Boehringer Ingelheim. Thanks for being with us today, Mike.
It's a pleasure.
Very good. We're here at the North American PRRS Conference today here in Chicago, and you just delivered the keynote address to attendees. Can you tell me a little bit about your talk with the group today?
Yeah, sure. Bob asked me to really address 25 years of PRRS R&D as it relates to vaccine development. And so I covered the area starting in 1991 when we talked about mystery pig, the development of Engelbach PRRS, and then the various new vaccines and products that have emerged in the last 25 years. And in doing that, I also took the chance to sort of summarize and review some of the lessons learned and how and why PRRS and PRRS vaccine development has been so difficult.
Very good. And what were some of those lessons learned that you shared with the group today?
Yeah, I shared 6 or 7, but I think the 3 most important ones are that PRRS, there's no solution in a bottle. Despite the fact that I work for a vaccine company and we have lots of vaccines, PRRS is really only managed at a herd or regional level, and that requires biosecurity, it requires epidemiology, diagnostics, and vaccines, and so it requires an integrated approach to really have a positive effect. The other couple areas that I also wanted to highlight was there is tremendous variation, and not every PRRS isolate is created equal. So if you look at research from the 90s with VR2332 versus 174 isolates we have today, they're dramatically different clinically as well as how they behave in a pig. And I think that ties into one of the final lessons learned was that we all manage PRRS in a mixed population in the field, but the reality is if you expose pigs to multiple isolates, there's usually one that takes over. And so if we use that information, we might be able to make better decisions relative to risk as well as vaccine placement.
Very good. Well, thanks for sharing that with us. And I know that the conference that we're at today is being dedicated to the memory of Dr. Mike Murtagh. And I had the pleasure of getting to interview him a couple times, and it was such a pleasure because he had such a great wit about him.
Yes, he did.
And I know he was a close personal friend of yours, and he did a lot for PRRS. Can you tell us just a little bit about him?
Yeah, no, giving this talk was actually almost therapeutic for me because I met Mike in 1991. I was a graduate student whose training was in Salmonella but was asked to work on PRRS. And so Mike was one of the people that kind of took me under his wing and helped educate me. And he's been a tremendous partner to everybody in the PRRS industry as well as BI. And almost all the work I presented today, he touched in some way. And we'll all remember Mike for his passion for quality, passion for science, passion for PRRS, and as you mentioned, his incredible sense of humor. I mean, PRRS isn't easy, and with his sarcasm and humor, it's sort of helped all of us move forward against a tough disease. So I think it's tremendous that this conference really focused and highlighted his legacy, and it was a privilege of mine to also dedicate my talk to Mike.
Very good. Well, thank you so much again for your time today. This is Sarah Meixel reporting for the Pig Site.